Sahara Desert, a place known as the second name of death, where in 1994, a man suddenly disappeared while running a marathon among 134 participants. Neither his body was found nor any trace. Then, after 9 days, he reappeared across the border in an unknown place. This is the story of Italian police officer Mauro Prosperi, whom even death could not accept. Welcome once again to Nobles Creations videos. Viewers, this is the heart-shaking story of an Italian police officer named Mauro Prosperi. He had a deep passion for pentathlon. It is a sport that makes a person skilled in sword fighting, swimming, horse riding, pistol shooting, and running.
This passion for pentathlon awakened in him during his duty in the Italian National Police. And it was this training that built toughness and a never-give-up attitude within him. One day, his friend Giovanni Manzo told him about the Marathon des Sables in the Sahara Desert. This is considered one of the toughest races in the world. You can imagine the intensity of this race from the fact that not only do you have to cover a distance of 251 kilometers alone, but you must complete it within just 7 days.
The most dangerous part is that throughout the race, the runner must carry all food, cooking gear, clothes, and necessary items in their own backpack. The organizers only provide water at each checkpoint, and in some cases, a tent to shelter at night. Mauro Prosperi and his friend Manzo both decided to participate in this race and began training by running 40 kilometers daily and reducing water intake. On April 10, 1994, when Prosperi was 38 years old, this ultra-marathon began from a remote village called Foms Guide in Morocco. This is an area in the Tata province of southeastern Morocco, where the Sahara begins in its full intensity. There were a total of 134 competitors in this ultramarathon race, including Prosperi and Manzo. The first 3 days went as expected. Both successfully covered a distance of 96 kilometers together. The route was extremely difficult. In some places, there were hard salt lake surfaces, and in others, rocky terrains and blinding sand dunes. They used to start running early in the morning, during the cooler hours. The desert was so vast that every participant would get separated and had to run completely alone. The rule was to find your own path and reach the next checkpoint. Everyone had a survival kit, which included a compass and a flare gun to signal in case of getting lost. This race had a total of 6 stages. On April 14, 1994, Prosperi and his friend had entered the 4th stage. This was the longest and most difficult phase of the ultramarathon because it required covering 85 kilometers in just 2 days. It was afternoon. The sun was blazing and the temperature had reached 46 degrees Celsius. Prosperi increased his speed and left his friend Manzo behind, moving ahead alone. At that point, Prosperi saw a dust devil forming in front of him, and within moments, strong winds began to blow. After running 32 kilometers, when the wind intensified, Prosperi slightly changed his path and climbed onto a sand dune to avoid the direct force of the wind. But these winds had now turned into a terrifying sandstorm. During this condition, Prosperi thought that if he stopped, he would be buried alive in the storm. He kept running through the storm. He felt like he was seeing trail markings, but in reality, it was just his illusion. Soon, all signs disappeared, and he ended up miles away from the rest of the runners. Evening started to fall. Darkness approached, but no checkpoint was in sight. That's when Prosperi realized he was completely lost. Due to the storm, his skin had turned red, his nose was bleeding, and constant sand entering through his breathing had swollen his throat painfully. Disappointed, he spent the night beside a bush. He covered his face with a towel and went to sleep hoping that the next sunrise might show him a new path. The morning of the 5th day had much better weather. Prosperi kept running continuously for the next 4 hours. When he climbed a massive sand dune and looked around, he was shocked. No path, no signs. As far as the eye could see, there were only sand dunes. By this time, his water was nearly finished. To stay hydrated, he had only one option left. Helplessly, he started drinking his own recycled body fluids. As the sun was about to set on the 5th day, he suddenly heard a sound, the sound of a helicopter. He thought his prayers had been answered. Without wasting time, Prosperi took out his flare gun and fired a signal to get the pilot's attention. But perhaps fate had something else planned. The sunlight was so strong that the flare's brightness got lost in it. The pilot did not see him and the helicopter disappeared. Prosperi was once again left alone in that silent ocean of death. He realized that no one was coming to find him now. This was now a battle between his own determination and the brutal conditions of the Sahara. On the 6th day, after walking for hours under the scorching sun, he saw an old ruined structure in the distance. It was an ancient shrine that had been abandoned for centuries. Hope returned to him, thinking he might find locals or water there. But when he entered with trembling steps, there was no living person inside. Only an old grave welcomed him with silence. Prosperi did not lose hope. He took out a small Italian flag from his backpack and placed it on the roof of the shrine, hoping that a passing aircraft might see it. But the real problem was hunger and thirst. His body had dried out completely. Then he noticed bats hanging from the roof of the shrine. The struggle to survive can make a human do anything. Prosperi caught those bats, cut their necks with his pocket knife, and drank their warm blood to maintain moisture in his body. For the next few days, he survived only on those bats, lizards he found on the way, and small insects. Then he saw an airplane far away. To get the pilot's attention, he had nothing left to start a fire. Helplessly, he burned his own backpack, but fate had other plans again. The smoke quickly scattered in the strong winds of the Sahara, and once again, the pilot did not see him. This was his 7th day in the Sahara. The setting sun and loneliness were breaking his mental strength. He became convinced that he would not survive. This was the point when a terrifying idea came to his mind. He did not want to wait longer for death. He wrote a farewell message to his family using charcoal and then cut the veins in his wrist to embrace death. He lay down in that old shrine and closed his eyes, waiting for the morning sun to not see him alive. But even death turned away from him. Yes, due to extreme dehydration, his blood had become so thick that instead of flowing, it clotted at the wound. When Prosperi opened his eyes, he himself was shocked to see this. After this incident, he realized that even death had rejected him, meaning his destination was somewhere else. He bandaged his wounds and stepped out of the shrine with renewed determination. After facing death closely, a new strength had awakened inside him. He took out his compass and started walking toward distant mountains. He traveled only in the early morning and evening, while resting under bushes during the scorching afternoons. At night, he buried himself in the sand to retain body heat. On the way, whenever he found any plant or bush, he squeezed its roots and drank the bitter drops. For food, he chewed raw snake meat and ate small insects. His body had turned into a skeleton, and he had lost about 15 kilograms of weight. On the 8th day, he saw greenery from a distance. It was a small oasis with muddy water. He wanted to drink it, but his throat was so swollen that every sip felt like swallowing thorns. Somehow, he drank it drop by drop and spent the whole day quenching his thirst. On the 9th day, when he was completely exhausted while walking, he saw goat droppings in the sand. Following them, he reached goats being grazed by a little girl. For the first time in days, he saw another human being. Prosperi immediately ran toward her, but his appearance was so frightening that the girl ran away. Luckily, she returned with her grandmother. The desert people took pity on him and gave him shelter and food, but his stomach was so weak that he vomited whatever he ate. The villagers placed him on a camel and sent him to a nearby military camp, where he was arrested, suspected as a spy. After identification, it was discovered that Mauro Prosperi had wandered out of Morocco and entered Algeria. He had drifted about 291 kilometers away from his racetrack. His wife and family had assumed he was dead and lost hope. But when his first call reached home after 9 days, there was celebration all over Italy. Prosperi was kept in the hospital for several days. Doctors said his organs were so damaged that death was certain, but his determination did not let him die. Surprisingly, even after such a terrifying experience, his love for the Sahara did not end. He later participated in this race 6 more times, and once even achieved 13th position. Today, Mauro Prosperi is 70 years old, but his passion remains the same. He says the same Sahara that tried to take his life taught him the true meaning of life. We hope you will like and share this Noble's Creation video as well. Thank you very much for your loving comments. See you in the next amazing video.